Oh, Christmas tree, how do you find that perfect Christmas tree? Coming up, we've got some expert advice.
Good morning, Josh.
Good morning, friends. Finding that perfect tree can be hard when there's so many options. There's pines, there's fir, there's even the Joshua tree. And when you want to find out that perfect tree for Christmas, we're here to help you do that. We're live this morning over at Hoffman Tree Farm right over in Marion. And you can see here, boy, do they have lots and lots of options.
We still want to know how much a Joshua tree costs.
If you have to ask, you can't afford it.
All right.
Finding that perfect Christmas tree can be a process that takes hours and hours. One that takes even longer than that, actually being able to take off the wrapping. Well, fortunately, I'm here with the Christmas tree expert of Christmas tree experts, Dan Hoffman. He is the owner of Hoffman Christmas Tree Farms, and he has challenged me to a little bit of a challenge here, where he's going to unwrap a Christmas tree against myself and see who can do it the fastest. Now, Dan's been doing this 45 years.
Yeah, I've unwrapped a few.
Okay, and I again, we told people when I'm helping with my family members, it takes hours. So I wonder who's going to win this competition here. I got an X-Acto knife, and Dan here is so confident that he's going to win. You don't even have
bare
one.
hands.
You're going to do it bare hands.
Bare
okay. Well, I'll tell you what. I want to get Joey and Jason involved in this too. Can you guys give us a count to 3, and we'll start unwrapping these Christmas trees?
All right, here we
Okay.
go. Ready?
Okay.
We can do 3, 2, 1 or 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, that's right. We'll go down.
The count
Ready?
of 3 would be 1, 2, 3, Joey.
Okay.
Yeah,
One.
that's the count of 3.
Okay, 1, 2, 3.
All right. Cutting. Oh boy, did he already get it off? Yeah, it looks that way. Okay. You know, this is a lot easier than I remember it being in years past, but we're gonna go with it. All right. That's
Because it's cold, you have to kind of push the branches down from the inside.
yeah, it is chilly out here. Does that affect the trees at all?
Well, you need to keep them in cold storage after you cut them. That keeps them as fresh as possible. But it is nicer when it's above freezing because then they come down. But it takes about 2 hours inside where it's warm to get the tree to fully come down and fluff out.
Huh.
And then just, you know.
Well, a lot of branches full of sap. That's that's what I have to say. Well, I think that you won, sir. I mean, you did a fantastic job there, Dan. And you know what? This is one thing where I think I did a lot better than I thought I would.
It's not bad. It's on its way.
Yeah, not too shabby. A little, maybe another 40 years experience, and I'll get it down to 10 seconds, just like you. Now, Dan, if people are doing this here at home, what is the #1 piece of advice you have?
Well, when they're cold, you have to think of that porcelain, because when they're cold, they can snap very easy. So it's nice to wait till it's above 40 and then work with them when they're warmer.
Now, I have to wonder, because that was the fastest I've ever unwrapped a Christmas tree before. Is it because of the cold temperatures why it's so easy to snap all that plastic off?
Your knife had a brand new blade in it. That helps.
All right, get a knife with a brand new blade. No more butter knives for the Scheinblum household, I'll tell you that. For now, my friends, we're covering the corridor in Marion. Josh Scheinblum, CBS 2 News.
We're very impressed with your work. Nice job, Josh.
10, Josh.
Yep.
Good job.
Thank you, guys.
No problem. So this morning, Josh Scheinblum is on the hunt for us live in Marion. He's got some expert advice when you're out in the fields this Christmas season. Good morning, Josh.
How's the temperature in the studio this morning, guys?
A lot warmer than...
It's very warm.
Oh boy, am I envying you. It is freezing cold out here this morning in eastern Iowa, and you know what? We're doing some shaking, and I'm not just talking about the kind I'm doing right now to prevent myself from freezing, but we're shaking some Christmas trees. I'm here with Dan Hoffman. He is the owner here over at Hoffman Christmas Tree Farms in Marion, and if you haven't purchased your Christmas tree yet, now is a pretty good time. Dan, we're talking about shaking.
Right. Well, we've picked out the tree we wanted. We've unwrapped it. We've let it come out a little bit. Now we want to make sure there's no needles in it or squirrels or anything like that. So we put it up here on our shaking machine. You might want to step back a little bit.
Okay.
And then we turn it on.
Who's the better shaker, me or the tree?
and that gets out any of the needles
Nice.
that are very common for needles to be inside the tree. That's not a problem. I mean, that a tree loses a set of needles every year, but you want to make sure they're all out of there before you take them into your home.
All right, well, I don't know what goes on, but usually when it gets in the home, the needles start falling off like crazy, and your mother's going to hassle you to start vacuuming them up. Do you have any advice for how we can get as few needles as possible to fall off the tree?
Well, if you shake out all the loose ones and you're careful about making that fresh cut and watching the water, you shouldn't have too many fall off. Although the real short needle on the Fraser fir are easier to vacuum, I've noticed over the years.
And how long do you usually shake this on the machine for, a typical tree?
About as long as what I just showed you. About 15 seconds or so is enough to get out most of the needles.
Well, Dan, thank you very much for joining us here this morning. You know more about Christmas trees than anyone I've ever met in my life, and you are the person to certainly have here on the morning show. Now, coming up in our next half hour, we're actually going to be wrapping up some of these trees before we bring them on home, so make sure you stay with us. We'll show you how they do it and give you some more advice to finding that perfect Christmas tree. I'm going to continue shaking over here. For now, we're covering the corridor of Marion. Josh Scheinblum, Fox 28 News at 7. Come on, Dan, we can shake together.
He always gets people to do weird
What a
things.
good sport he is.
know.
I have to say, I have learned so much more about Christmas trees this morning. I didn't know about the shake. Wow, they're still shaking.
They're shaking their stuff, yeah. Good morning, Josh.
Good morning, guys. I'm actually just cutting the first Christmas tree of the day here, trying to get underneath and do a little chopping. I'm actually cutting Joy's tree because I want the tree that I cut her to show her how much that I love her. And as you can see, it's a whole lot. And actually, Jason, I cut you a tree too. So I got both of you guys covered there.
Yep,
Yeah.
I'll remember that. You're off my list.
I hope you guys enjoy that. It'll look beautiful inside any of your homes. No, I'm kidding. I love Jason in the same way I love fruitcake. Thank you guys for joining us. I'll send things back to you in the studio. And I want to say for the record, I really do love Jason. I love both of them. You guys are the best.
Yep.